Hello there, this is Darth Melvin, leader of the Knights of Melvin. Excuse me. Earlier today, I was at a business meeting discussing the Knights of Melvin merch store, and the guy insisted we meet at Starbucks of all places. So I went and got a venti coffee with cream. I think there was soy in the coffee. Hopefully it's just a mild case of soy poisoning. I think I'll be alright, it's just gotta wear off. Well, I need to make a video, and all I can think about is how Star Wars Episode 2 was actually a woke movie. If you haven't already, I previously broke down how The Phantom Menace was actually a woke movie. I gotta say, George Lucas maintained his woke agenda in Episode 2. To begin with, we open up with Padme. She is no longer Queen of Naboo, but she's an elected senator of Naboo. Padme is a strong, independent female. Immediately, we have a death of a toxic man. This is satisfying. This is so satisfying to see. Let's see that again. I hate men. Sadly, Padme's female bodyguard also died, but she didn't scream like a weak, pathetic male. She stayed strong to the very end.
So sorry. I failed you, Senator. No.
Padme lets the council know that Count Dooku is a misogynist and is trying to kill her.
I think that Count Dooku is behind it.
I love how George Lucas set up the story by centering around a bunch of toxic men trying to get rid of a strong woman. Now, I was a big fan of how much George Lucas empowered black men such as Mace Windu in the last movie, but I really didn't care for how he mansplained right here.
You know, milady, Count Dooku was once a Jedi. He couldn't assassinate anyone. It's not in his character.
Sweetie, Padme was 100% right. Dooku was a Trump-supporting racist with a small wiener. He obviously was triggered by Padme's position and power. Now, I'm no fan of Dooku or Darth Sidious, but I do appreciate how Darth Sidious did not age discriminate when choosing his next apprentice. Dooku is an old, pathetic white male who probably doesn't even know how to post pictures of his ass on Instagram, yet Palpatine did not discriminate and chose the best person for the position. Now, Attack of the Clones is a very woke movie, but it is a little deeper than The Phantom Menace. Anakin just triggers me the whole movie. He's such a toxic, sexist male. Look at his face when he first sees Padme. Disgusting. Sweetie, do you really expect Padme to just bend over for you right there? He's so creepy. Vomitrocious. Anakin is lucky this isn't the sequel trilogy. Padme would slap him silly. Despite all that, I really think George Lucas does a good job in portraying toxic men in the workplace. It's revealed that Jango Fett is trying to kill Padme. Jango hires Zam Wessel, a female bounty hunter, to get the job done. I think she did a very good job in her attempt. Unfortunately, there was 2 Jedi Knights protecting Padme, so she didn't succeed. But she did succeed in making the Jedi, 2 disgusting men, look like such idiots. Rey is my personal hero, but Padme is a very close second.
Excuse me. I'm in charge of security here, milady.
I love how Anakin is just trying to mansplain here, and Padme completely shuts down this toxic white male.
And this is my home. I know it very well. That is why we're here. I think it would be wise if you took advantage of my knowledge in this instance.
Sorry, milady.
It is great. That takes us to the sand scene. All the toxic men I know love the sand scene. They think it's so fucking funny for some sick, racist reason. I see George Lucas's real intention in this scene. Anakin is clearly displaying some severe xenophobia. What's wrong with sand? What is it about sand that triggers you? And you might be saying, sweetie, you're a little too woke and an SJW, but how do you explain Anakin killing all the minorities on Tatooine. Hashtag cancel Anakin. He's obviously triggered by people from sandy regions, and that's just disgusting. Also, I really love how progressive the Tusken Raiders are, being white slavers. They enslaved a stupid white person, and she ultimately died. She was probably a stupid Republican, so she deserved it. Even though it's only fiction, it brings me pleasure to see it on screen. I also thought it was very progressive of George Lucas to cast a minority to play Jango Fett. The last thing we need is more white people running around. I think it's very progressive to clone minorities. This should be incorporated in the real world. We should do everything we can to ratio the white people in this country, even if the tactics are a tad unethical. I wonder if the Democratic Party has already thought about this. They'd certainly never lose another election. Oh! A lot of toxic Star Wars fans love the fucking Clone Wars TV show and the fucking Bad Batch, but no one has bothered to see George Lucas's greater message. Clones are people. Clones have feelings. They have rights. Clones are an oppressed group in the Star Wars universe. This is something we might encounter in the future, and I'm happy to see George Lucas address this issue in Attack of the Clones. It's kind of disgusting to see how the Jedi interact with the clones. They need to acknowledge their biological privilege and treat the clones with more respect. And while we're at it, the battle droids are an oppressed group as well. Everyone needs to accept their human privilege and offer the droids government benefits. The Battle of Geonosis, I think, perfectly sums up men. They rush into things and start flexing on everyone with their toxic masculinity and make the situation worse. They definitely needed a strong woman to organize the rescue mission. And why was there a rescue mission in the first place? I love Padme, but she is a strong female character who knew the risks of being a strong female. If she happened to die, it was her choice. So there was really no need to save the other two toxic man babies, Obi-Wan and Anakin. They should have just let them die. Two less white men in the world. One of my favorite moments in this film was Mace Windu's purple lightsaber. I always thought watching the original trilogy that blue and green lightsabers were just racist and promote the patriarchy. I'm happy to see that George Lucas was very progressive and wanted to make a statement for the LGBTQIA+ community. Now, I know there's going to be a bunch of toxic men in the comments saying, no, Samuel L. Jackson just liked the color purple. Shut up. I don't have to pay attention to your racist facts. You're just a bigot. That takes us to the lightsaber duels. Again, I'm happy to see the topic of ageism be addressed. Dooku's age was not a factor in destroying the two younger racist white males. And then to make it even more perfect, George Lucas had an even older minority get the better of Dooku. It's a little disappointing that Padme decided to get married to Anakin, the racist and misogynist male, but I can't help but appreciate the extremely diverse worlds George Lucas created and admire his woke visions sprinkled into his space stories about disgusting men swinging around their blue and green penises. So, Star Wars Episode 2 Attack of the Clones was a very woke movie. I hope you become a knight and subscribe. Join the Knights of Melvin Discord. It's honestly the most toxic Star Wars server ever, but if you like that kind of thing, then super.